Uh, Good afternoon or good evening, and this is Comrade from Town Daniel. I condemn the action that took place today, uh, the 24th of October 2020. Mother Francisca and his pupils were brutally murdered this morning in Kumba, brutally murdered in Kumba. I condemn this action. This is absolutely should never happen in the first place. This is a conspiracy theory, and I shall elaborate more on this conspiracy theory that is being carried on in Southern Cameroon territory. Another incident is Anderson Kongeh of Ngoketunjia. Kongeh Anderson of Ngoketunjia is carrying on action in Southern Cameroon, especially in Ngoketunjia, the senior divisional officer in that locality. Southern Cameroon is not the first time that is going through these experiences, and I support the U.S. Embassy strong condemnations. But I think the U.S. can do more. The U.S. can do more, and to stop this, United States has the capability to carry on drastic actions against this ongoing genocide in Southern Cameroon, irrespective of other nations' collaborations. The United States is aware of this genocide, and this is a calculated planning by La République du Cameroun officials in order to glue on to the people of Southern Cameroon and to justify their means of occupying Southern Cameroon territory. Despite the fact that the world is aware of this ongoing genocide in Southern Cameroon, but no action is being taken place or taken to stop the genocide. A flashback of history. Southern Cameroon should have had its own independence irrespective of any other nations. Southern Cameroon, Article 14 XV of the United Nations, Article 1608 XV, and Part 76B of the United Nations recognize the people of Southern Cameroon that serve independence, and the world, despite all these key evidence, the world ignore and justify the reason why La République must occupy Southern Cameroon because of the personal interest of France. And that is why you can listen from the CNN report, which just released, that the priority of the superpower, Africa, is the least of its top priority. And I can agree with that assessment. But then I am asking the United States. United States can do this alone. I have had a conversations with the U.S. Department of Defense, and the United States is a strong government where power is strongly shared. The Defense Department, the civilian government, that's the three arms of government, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature, are totally independent. And so the military assure me that the State Department has an upper hand for what the U.S. Department of Defense can do. And so United States Department of Defense can take action against La République du Cameroon independently without any collaboration with other nations. If the U.S. Department of State Department allowed the U.S. Department of Defense to take a drastic action against La République du Cameroon. Let's look at what is going on in Southern Cameroon, especially the Kumba Massacre. It is deeply deplorable to see young children aspiring to become who they are, and today they have been brutally murdered by a carefully calculated planning by La République du Cameroon. And the rationale is simple. The essence of La République du Cameroon is that if such an action are taking place, massacre, it will cause the world to classify the citizens of Southern Cameroon that are fighting for liberation to be condemned and classified as a terrorist, so that we justify La République claim over Southern Cameroon. Remember, why are the people of Southern Cameroon question the validity of La République control of Southern Cameroon? The fact is clear. Teaching. Southern Cameroon is an Anglo-Saxon cultural heritage in which education system is a fundamental basic value. And Francophone has a different cultural value, heritage, and educational system. And in order to erase the culture or the fundamental value of the citizens of Southern Cameroon, is to implement the Francophone-led education system gradually, statewise, and uproot the Anglo-Saxon way of life, educational system, and the political freedom. And this has been the cause of this rioting. And the people of Southern Cameroon are asking that they have the capability to manage themselves irrespective of La République. And Southern Cameroon has been a sovereign nation of its own and able to manage and freedom. Southern Cameroon is the first of its kind to have a democratic institution in West Africa to elect and transfer of power, in which La République hasn't in its creation from its colonial France. So there are certain citizens of Southern Cameroon, people like Paul Atanganji, people like Anderson Kongeh in Ngoketunjia, and all officials of the citizens of Southern Cameroon that are serving in the neighboring country La République du Cameroon are masterminded planning this session with the Francophones military to carry on this brutal act so as to give them the valid legitimacy control of Southern Cameroon. You all are aware, including the U.S. Embassy, wrote a condemnation about the Kumba massacre. The highest level officials of La République, government officials, including the communication ministers, denied that the action in Kumba was not perpetrated by La République du Cameroon. After a thorough investigation and satellite images show otherwise, and they came and agreed that it was their responsibility that they carry on the action of the massacre. I am here to remind the world that it is enough of this bleeding that is happening in Southern Cameroon in West Africa. It is very crucial that we see some of our brothers and sisters, children, murdered, babies by this brutal military of La République du Cameroon, and yet the world choose condemnation. Condemnation doesn't take action. Condemnation doesn't bring peace. Condemnation doesn't bring something, resolution. But action can solve the problems. And therefore, I am urging the U.S. government are capable to do this. U.S. government can do this alone. It required U.S. Department of Defense to be authorized to carry on action and bring down the regime of Biya, and that peace and security can be able to prevail in Southern Cameroon. I urge the U.S. government to do something about it. It's not condemnation by the U.S. Embassy can resolve the problem that is ongoing, but they can recommend action to be taken against the brutal regime. Of course, the U.S. Embassy, in a communique issued today, condemned the action that is being taken place in Kumba. But, however, that is not enough. Recommendations of action to be taken against the regime is what is needed at this moment and at this crisis. It is a series of brutal murder, one after another, in which U.S. is aware of this crisis. So I urge the recommendation to take action against the regime and bring down regime and build a new system. Fellow, I'm asking help. Fellow, for all of you that are watching this, is bleeding. I can imagine people are close to 40,000 of citizens of Southern Cameroon has been murdered in West Africa. So I am pleading for every highest level of government of the United States to come to help people that are in need in Southern Cameroon. It is horrific. It is horrible. It is a nightmare going on. Children, if you see the images, it is deeply deplorable. Fellow United States, help people that are in greater need. United States can do this irrespective of any other nation interventions. So therefore, I am urging the United States government to take a closer look and to stop condemnation, but to take a drastic action against the poor Biya regime. Of course, the U.S. Embassy issued a communique that the people should be brought to justice. How can they be brought into justice when you have a one system of government that controls every aspect? Then who is going to take action in which U.S. Embassy is aware of this fact that La République du Cameroon cannot take independently verifiable action against its own self? So I urge the United States government to take a brief moment and pause and look about La République du Cameroon under Paul Biya, 37 years or 38 years of brutal crackdown on free protesters asking for an equality. And I think the United States can do it alone, irrespective of any other foreign nation interventions. Please, United States, U.S. government, U.S. Congress, the White House, the President, the opposition leaders here in these great, amazing nations, the people of Southern Cameroon need help. They are bleeding. Thank you, and it is a nice speaking this year. Fellow brothers and sisters, thank you all.